The new episode, Taekook did not get a second to breathe in relief before Namjoon walked in. Namjoon said surprisingly with a smile playing on his lips. Taekook stood up by the second Namjoon entered the room. Hello, sir. Taekook said, bowing to Namjoon. Don't know how to handle the and crushing Jungkook for leaving him alone. Namjoon walked to Taekook and took him into a hug, surprising Taekook. Sit, Namjoon said when he broke the hug. They sat in the same place Jin sat before, and Taekook sat down too. How are you, kid? Namjoon asked, started, starting, starting the conversation. I'm good, sir. Thank you. How are you doing? Taekook asked, still nervous. Namjoon smiled. Fine, kid. You can call me Appa Joon, like those friends of Jungkook, Namjoon said, indicating Minho, Hobi, and Yoongi. Thanks, you, sir. Appa Joon, Taekook said, making Namjoon smile again. I think it takes time for you to get used to it. It's okay. Well, no rush, kid. Namjoon said, making Taekook smile. Namjoon Jin entered the room again without weapon. This time, hey. Namjoon said to Jane, walking to him and gave him a side hug. With Namjoon still sitting and Jane standing beside him, Jane put his arm around Namjoon's waist and left a little kiss on his neck before pulling back from the hug. That was the small gesture made Taekook know how much they love each other. Where did you go? Namjoon asked. I went to put the weapon back in the cupboard, Jin said, making Namjoon frown. From when? Are you using weapons inside our house, huh? Namjoon asked, making Jin rub his neck awkwardly. It's nothing, Dad. Jungkook walked in right the time Taekook making breathe. Hey, come on, join Taekook, Jin said, avoiding Namjoon's gaze. What did you do, Jin? Namjoon asked seriously. I was just playing around, nothing much, really, Jin said, raising his hand in surrender. Namjoon left Jin's gaze and turned to Taekook. Are you okay? Namjoon asked, not knowing what Jin did this time. I'm okay, Taekook smiled, understanding the situation. Jungkook walked to Taekook and sat beside him and Namjoon Jin, the other side facing them. Jungkook walked to Taekook and sat beside him and Namjoon Jin and the other side facing them. So what are you studying, kid? Namjoon asked. Medicine, 2 years, Taekook answered. That's surprising. You look like a high school kid. Namjoon smiled. He is cute. Jin put it in. Jungkook smiled, wrapping an arm around his waist, and Taekook blushed. Actually, I heard a lot about your relationship from Jungkook and Jin these days, but I did not really know about you. Namjoon asked, leaning back onto the couch, crossing his legs. My hometown is Taekook. I came here for study. I got a free seat in your uni, so Taekook trailed out, making them nod. Your family? Jin asked this time. My mother, she was a single mother. She died in an accident 5 years back, Taekook said, lowering his gaze to the ground, feeling sad by the memories of his mom. I'm sorry, kid, Namjoon said, scooping forward and placing his hand on Taekook's, making Tae look up at Jungkook. Namjoon smiled, making Taekook smile in return. You have a family now, see? Namjoon said, gesturing Jin, Jungkook, and himself. Thank you, Taekook mumbled. Namjoon wanted to know more about Tae, but he couldn't ask him more, seeing his condition after mentioning his mother. Come on, let's have lunch first. They had a little talk about Taekook's relationship, and Jin is more than ready to tease them, leaving the tension in the air. Now they are standing in the living room. Jungkook, Taekook bidding goodbye to Namjoon. Thank you for having me, Taekook said politely, bowing to them, but Namjoon gave him a friendly hug, patting Taekook's back. You are always welcome here, kid. Remember, we are all family now. Come around anytime, Namjoon said, patting his back again. Now it's time for Jin to hug Taehyung. I was just teasing you back then. We don't use weapon in the home, Jin said, making Taehyung blush in embarrassment. Bye, Taehyung said after Jungkook hugged his dad and Jin. Namjoon smiled and Jin waved at Jungkook, took Taehyung's hand in his and linked their hand. Taekook walked to his car and drove to Taehyung's condo without a word. That went well, he said, breaking the silence. Told you, Jungkook said, making Taehyung snort. Are you dropping me at my condo? Taehyung asked something like that, Jungkook said, making Taehyung frown in confusion. Finally, they reached Taehyung's place. Jungkook came out of the car and opened the door for Taehyung as usual, locking the car behind. You are coming upstairs? Taehyung asked, but Jungkook did not reply. He took Taehyung's hand in his and walked to the lift. The door closed as they got inside the lift. Jungkook did not wait a single second to drag Taehyung near, catching his lips and started kissing him hardly, making Taehyung's knees go weak. Taehyung cried, clenching onto Jungkook's shirt as his knees started giving up. Jungkook smiled and pulled Taehyung onto his deepen him and deepened the kiss. 15th floor, the door opened with that announcement. Jungkook carried her in bridal style and walked to Taehyung's room door. Taehyung pulled the car keys from pocket and opened the door still in Jungkook's arms. Jungkook closed the door with his legs and carried Taehyung to the bed. Jungkook put him in the bed and hovered over Tae, looking with desireful eyes, making Taehyung up. Jungkook stayed still and looked directly into Taehyung's eyes like he was trying to read them. What are you doing? Taehyung asked in a low voice. Your mom? Why did you not say about her to me? Jungkook asked, trying to not make Taehyung sad. Taehyung trailed, doesn't know what to say. Hey, look at me, Jungkook said, kissing his cheek. I wanted to hug and kiss you so badly back then when Dad asked about your mom. I wanted to wipe the sad look from your face, baby. Jungkook said, what stopped you? Taehyung asked playfully, forgetting his sadness. I was not sure I could stop if I started once, Jungkook said, making Taehyung roll his eyes. Jungkook glanced in response. You know, I wanted to do so much, but I could not in front of Dad, Jungkook said. Like? Taehyung asked, clearly knowing what Jungkook gonna say. Wanna kiss you, mark you, test you, Jungkook said, leaving kisses on Taehyung's neck, that's all. Taehyung cried, crossing his arm around Jungkook's neck. Jungkook smiled and testing his neck, trying a cry from Taehyung. Mark your neck and taste your mark, Jungkook said, biting his neck. Jungkook pulled Taehyung's shirt away, showing the bare chest, and started kissing Tae. Taste your num-num, Jungkook said in a husky voice with desire-filled eyes, looking into Taehyung's eyes. That's all? Taehyung said playfully by raising his eyebrow. Oh baby, Jungkook said, losing his control. Yes, Taehyung asked innocently. Don't blame me for not able to walk tomorrow, Jungkook said and kissed Taehyung's lips before Taehyung could answer. I will not, because Taehyung tried to stop. A cry came out because Jungkook asked like he was dating Tae. Because I know it worth it. Taehyung cried as Jungkook started doing something with Tae and kissed his neck and more. Aren't you forgetting something? Jungkook asked, still doing the same. Am I? Taehyung cried, clearly knowing what Jungkook is talking about. Jungkook started getting rid of his pants before kicking his shorts. Jungkook did not waste and pull second to pull his sauce along with Thanks and roll the over, making Taeyang sit on his lap. Taeyang cried, biting his lips, feeling Jungkook's. They ended up getting naughtiest all the night. Time escaped. Sunday night, location Yoongi Hope's apartment. So, what do you wanna watch? Yoongi asked Hwan, who sat beside him on the couch. Anything? Hwan said, not very interested in the show they were going to watch. Hwan, can you stop acting like that? Yoongi said, annoying while playing some movie on the TV. This is the last day in Seoul. I need to go back to my city tomorrow, Hwan mumbled sadly. I know, Hwan, and we also plan to hang out every weekend too. So that was with the sad face, Yoongi said, poking Hwan's cheek with fingers, attempting to make him smile. I can't see you again for another 1 week. Yoongi, 1 week, Hwan exclaimed. Yoongi sighed and leaned back onto the couch with his legs hanging down. Hwan took a second before lying on the couch with his head in Yoongi's lap, watching him carefully. They did not speak for some minutes before Hwan started speaking again. Yoongi, what are you thinking? Hwan asked, with his head still lying in his lap. Huh? Nothing, Yoongi replied before smiling at Hwan. Hwan knows it's not a genuine smile, and he also can see that Yoongi is worried about something, but he did not ask further. They stay like that, watching TV. Yoongi is so involved in watching TV that he did not notice Hwan watching him either than TV. When Yoongi looked down at Hwan casually, he found Hwan staring at him like he was the most precious thing. A smile reached to his lips at that thought. Why are you staring at me like that? Yoongi asked jokingly. That's not staring, it's admiring, Hwan replied and brought Yoongi's lips to his for a peek and his hand around the backside of Yoongi's neck. Hwan sat up, lifting his head from Yoongi's lap so they could sit beside him, turning his body facing towards Yoongi. You are so gorgeous. You know that, Hwan said, cupping his face. Hwan smiled back, leaning forward to catch their lips with Yoongi's for a sweet kiss. Yoongi kissed back, making Hwan's heart melt. The next word that came out of Hwan seems like they were meant to be said. I love you, Hwan whispered into the kiss before dipping it and turned their hand to the side. They kept on kissing as Yoongi replied, I love you too, Hobie. Yoongi did not realize that he just said Hobie until Hwan pulled back from the kiss with wide eyes. Oh, silly. Yoongi crushed himself and stretched his hand to touch Hwan, who moved away, staring at Yoongi with wide eyes. OMG, Hwan, I'm sorry. Yoongi shouted, crushing himself mentally. Hwan did not reply anything. He just stuck in his place with different emotions crossing his eyes. A tear slipped from his eyes without him knowing. Hwan, Yoongi called, feeling disgusted with himself for doing that to Hwan. I'm sorry, Yoongi whispered, touching Hwan's hand, which is placed on his own lap. Hwan blinked twice, getting everything into his head, which turned numb. By the second he heard those words, his eyes fell on Yoongi's hand, which is lying on his own. Hwan, Yoongi called, making Hwan look up at him by taking his hand away from Yoongi's touch. I'm sorry, Yoongi, Hwan said before sitting back and rubbing his face into his palm with a sigh. I'm so sorry, Yoongi, I was. Hwan trailed off, looking at the hands. So it is Hobie that you That guy who broke your heart, Hwan asked, not looking directly at Yoongi but instead looking at his hand like they were the most interesting thing ever. Yoongi was shocked. Yoongi felt disgusted with himself. He is doing the same thing to Hwan that Hobie does to him. He could not do that. Yoongi knows how much it's hard to know that person you love doesn't love you back. Yoongi felt stupid. He felt like a coward. So it is him. Han took Yoongi's silence as yes. A sad laugh left Hwan's lips before he said, I feel so stupid. Hwan expressed, I'm so sorry. Yoongi pleaded, no, it's not your fault. It's my fault. Anyways, Hwan said, truly, I know you love someone else, but I still thought I could get you to move on from him and at least start liking me. I was just one thrilled of not knowing how to put his feelings into words. I'm so sorry, Han, please. Yoongi begged. Yoongi thought he could forget Hobie by the love Hwan showing him, but he is wrong. Yoongi did not forget Hobie at all. He realized he started using Hwan to move on from Hobie. Yoongi used him, he hurt him, he could not forgive himself for that. Yoongi could not stop hating himself for what he did to Han. A sigh left from his lips as he blinked away the tears. I don't think I have any other reason left to come back to Seoul again, Han said, standing up. He still did not look into Yoongi. He could not look at him. Goodbye, Yoongi. I wish a lot of happiness for you, he said as he really meant it. He walked away to the door without looking back. Hwan saw Hobie coming out of the lift as he reached for it. Hwan could not maintain eye contact for more than a second with Hobie. He walked into the lift and closed the door, making himself disappear. Hobie looked at Hwan in confusion. He can see something is wrong, but he also knows that anything related to Hwan is none of his business. Hobie just shrugged his shoulder and walked to his apartment. Hobie frowned when he saw Yoongi sitting on the couch, deep in thoughts. Hobie called, making Yoongi look up at him, exposing his teary eyes. MG, what happened? Hobie walked to Yoongi and sat beside him, taking him into a hug. Yoongi cried more and more as Hobie rubbed a circle in his back. Yoongi is crying again, but this time he is not the only one who is hurt. This time he is not the victim. He caused this all. He hurt Hwan. OMG, stop crying, Yoongi. You are scaring me. When you started crying like this, I never saw you crying before, Hobie said, still holding Yoongi in his arm. Yoongi stopped crying. I am not the one who changed, Yoongi said. When he pulled back from the hug, it's you, Yoongi said, sniffing. I cried many times. It's just you never noticed it before. You never hugged me beside when we were close. You never cared about me crying. You never tried to comfort me when I was crying. It's you who changed. What's with this change? Yoongi asked, making Hobie go mute for a minute. You? Hobie responded, making Yoongi frown in confusion. Me? Yoongi asked. Not exactly you, but my love towards you. The words left Hobie, making Yoongi's heart drop it. No, we are not going there, Hobie, Yoongi told in horror. Yoongi was about to stand up, but Hobie caught his wrist and made him sit again. Yoongi, I love you, Hobie confessed, making Yoongi shaking his head. No, you can't be that selfish, Hobie, Yoongi said, letting his tears fall. You can't just hurt me, broke my heart badly, and came back to get me like you did nothing to me, Yoongi said, making his head at the end, "This is not happening, Hobie. We can't be," Yoongi said, making Hobie turn into angry. And when I hurt him so badly, Yoongi could not digest that how much coward he was. "Yoongi, you love me." Hobie did not ask. He demanded. "No, Hobie, no, no more." Yoongi lied. "You love me, Yoongi, you do," Hobie said, making Yoongi cry in helplessness. He gets hurt. He does hurt someone else. He is broke. And he broke someone else too. But he could get over the fact that he still loves Hobie. "Hobie, please," Yoongi said, ripping his hand away from him and walking towards the bedroom, but he was dragged back and pinned to the wall beside his bedroom door. "Hobie," Yoongi begged. Hobie grabbed his right hand off Yoongi and pinned it on the top of his head. "You know me well than anyone, Yoongi," Hobie said. "You know how selfish I am. You know how hot-headed and merciless human I am," Hobie said. Yoongi knew it all, but he still loves Hobie. "You love me, Yoongi. I am not letting you go," Hobie said in a serious tone. "Please, Hobie, let me go," Yoongi begged and stretches his left hand, which is not pinned, to push Hobie away from his chest. "Touch me, Yoongi," Hobie said, taking the left palm of Yoongi, which is pushing his chest away, and slipped it into his shirt. Yoongi hated how he loved the touch of Yoongi. Yoongi hated how he is craving for Hobie. After all this silly, he could not hate Hobie. No matter what, that made him hate himself more. Hobie did not start move Yoongi's hand on his skin. He just put his hand under his shirt. Yoongi started moving his hand himself, feeling Hobie's skin, tears falling from Yoongi's eyes, telling him no to do it, but his heart is not listening it. He could not push Hobie away because he knows he doesn't need anything more than Hobie's touch, and that's what Yoongi hated himself for. Hobie leaned forward and kissing whose eyes are still leaking. "No, Hobie, don't," Yoongi pleaded, but he does not attempt to push him away. He wants to kiss him so badly. After all, Yoongi knows once he kissed him, he will lose himself to Hobie. He could not do anything. He is that addicted to him. Hobie did not even hesitate to touch his lips with Yoongi. Yoongi could not do anything. He could not stop him because he is enjoying it. Yoongi knows he lost it. He lost himself to Hobie. Yoongi felt his both hands guided under Hobie's shirt. He felt Hobie's hand around his neck deep in the kiss. Yoongi pulled him near by his waist and started moving his lips along with him. Yoongi did not miss Hobie's smile against his lips for his action. He loved his kisses. He still loved them. He could not help but love it. You love me, right?" Hobie whispered huskily, crying Yoongi's name continuously. "Yes, yeah." Uh, Yoongi cried by direct and slipped his hand into Yoongi's shirt. "Tell me," Hobie said, doing something with his hand. "I love you, okay? I freaking love you." Yoongi gave himself to Hobie as Yoongi yelled those words and dragged his body towards him. "I love you too." Hobie leaned down, kissing Yoongi's lips, grinning devilishly. After a while, Yoongi and Hobie were sitting together. "Hobie, what about Jimin?" Yoongi asked. "Don't worry, Yoongi, Jimin know about my love for you. I told him everything a few days ago, and he is okay with it. Yoongi asked again. Yeah, Jimin suggested me that I should go after you, and he is okay to be in threesome. Monday, 8 a.m. Location Taehyung's condo. Taekook is fast asleep on Taehyung's bed. It's a still single bed, but it did not bother them because they are so close to each other that they could turn into a single person ring. That sound made Jungkook wake up from his deep sleep with Taehyung in his arm. The sound made Jungkook wake up from his deep sleep with Taehyung in his arm. He opened his eyes, blinking repeatedly to get used to the light in the room. A smile reached to Jungkook as his eyes fell on the gorgeous boy lying in his arm with his face pressed onto his chest. Jungkook kissed his head, tugging a hair behind his ear. Taehyung shifted by the touch, snuggling even more into his chest. It made Jungkook's heart warm with love. What did I do in my past life to get this angel in as my lover? Huh? Jungkook asked the sleeping boy, kissing him again. Jungkook lay there, staring at his sleeping beauty, smiling at himself. After an hour, Taehyung opened his eyes to see his boyfriend watching him with that look filled with love. That thought of Jungkook watching while they was sleeping made him blush. Good morning, baby, Jungkook said, picking his lips. Morning, Taehyung replied with a blush as the scenes from last night played in his head. What are you thinking about, baby? Jungkook asked, watching blushy cheeks of Taehyung. Nothing, Taehyung replied fastly before slipping under the cover, covering his face. Jungkook glanced at Taehyung's action and instead of pulling the cover from Taehyung's face, he slipped under into the cover too and pulled them up to his face under the cover. Jungkook wrapped an arm around Taehyung's waist and turned him towards him. Taehyung is still blushing. You know what? You look extra cute when you blush. Jungkook grinned at Taehyung, who his face into Jungkook's chest. You always make me feel shy, Taehyung accused Jungkook, smiling like an idiot. Both Jungkook and Taehyung know that the sentence is anything other than an accuse. But you still love me, Jungkook said, kissing his head. Exactly, Taehyung said, looking up from his chest. How are you feeling? Jungkook asked, concerned. What are you talking? Oh, silly, Jungkook. Taehyung frowned in confusion, but later his eyes go wide as he realized what Jungkook is asking about his baby. There is nothing you should feel shy about, Jungkook said. Let me give you a little massage, baby, Jungkook said, pulling the cover off. Jungkook turned Tae around and making him lie on his stomach before Taehyung could protest. Jungkook got on his knees between Tae's legs and started massaging his thigh and back. His back using little force enough to make Taehyung feel good. Are you feeling good? Jungkook asked, still walking on the massage. So good, Taehyung cried as Jungkook started pressing his body. That feels so good. Jungkook glanced at Taehyung's reaction and continued to work on it until Taehyung fell asleep again. After an hour, Taehyung woke up with the sound of a person walking around his little condo. When he opened his eyes, he saw Jungkook is wearing his suit back and ready to put his shoes. Hey, baby, you woke up? Jungkook asked, standing up straight after putting the shoes. Yeah, you are leaving already? Taehyung asked with a pout. and got down off the bed to walk onto Jungkook's arm. Yeah, baby, I need to go. Important meeting, Jungkook said, kissing his lips. Oh, thanks, said. Once he pulled back from the hug, I made you breakfast and sent a leave letter to your uni for today, Jungkook told him. Eat breakfast and take a rest. I will meet you in the evening, okay, baby? Jungkook asked, okay. Thanks, said, and jumped onto Jungkook for another hug. Jungkook hugged him happily and kissed him some more. After another hour, Taeyang had a bath, breakfast before hopping onto the bed. He tried to sleep, but he could not sleep at all. He opened his phone to watch some funny video on YouTube, but he did not laugh by watching it, so he closed the phone and placed around his little condo to search for something he can do. He remembered the thing manga he brought last week. His face light by that. He started searching the drawers in his room. He found his mom's diary along with the manga on the last drawer of his nightstand. Manga diary, he asked himself, looking at the two options. He finally decided to read the diary. He put back the manga in the drawers and jumped onto the bed, dragging cover until his waist and adjusted his pillow. I'm gonna read the whole diary today, Taeyang told himself before, because he opened the page he stopped last time. To be continued. The next chapter is going to be all about Taekook and the past that is hidden, and let's see what is your guess and what is gonna be true and what is gonna be new and exciting. I hope you will love the episode and love the past. I hope you will enjoy it. Okay, so see you again with the new episode. Till then, take care, say bye bye.